Okay, then last thing I'll say, it would be a terrible idea to sit there and scribble down your review and then not have a useful piece of paper as a warm-up for your test. So just don't do that, okay? You should do your warm-up and you can turn in your test review later if it's not finished for a 90. A 90 is not so bad, okay? But you should do this with us so that you get it and you remember what you need to remember. Okay, at the top, we're writing an equation. If I want a whole at -5, what does the factor say? +5, where does it go? Top, bottom, or both? Both, so +5, +5. Because remember, wholes are supposed to cancel out. So if it's not in both parts, it's not a whole. Okay, vertical asymptotes go where? Bottom, and if I want a -2 and a 3, then I'll put a +2 and a -3. Now, for your test, I'm pretty sure one of them's a fraction. So let's make this one a 1/3 and a 5/7, just so that you have an example of that. Okay, so my zeros go on the top. If it's a fraction, you're gonna still change the sign. So the +5 would go to a -5. And then what do I do with the 7 from the bottom? Slide it, very good. So that'd be a 7x - 5. And then what would I do to my -1? I'd turn it to a +1, and then I'd slide the 3 to the front. Okay? Then from there, for your horizontal asymptote, if you have an answer, that means it has to be a bed C, which means that I should have the same number of X's on the bottom as I have on the top. And if I count them out, it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, that's a tie. Then I need my numbers in the front to divide to this. So I just put it in the front. Now, if I wanted the horizontal asymptote to be a 0, it would have to be what? Not a Betsy, but a Bobo. And you should count more X's across the bottom than you count on the top. Okay? All right, we're going to do 2 finding the different things. So let's start with letter A. Is it a Bobo, a Batin, or a Betsy? It is a Betsy. Okay, Betsy means that they're both equal. So we're going to divide the coefficients. Okay, and in this case, the coefficients I'm dividing would be 4 divided by 8. So what is 4 divided by 8? What was it? 0.5, or you could put a half. So I'm going to put a half, but 0.5 is fine. Okay? All right, the next thing that you're going to have to do on your test is break it down into factors. Now, let me remind you of the ways you're expected to know how to factor. AC chart, perfect square roots, and then GCF. Now, you should also know how to do factor by grouping, but I'm pretty sure that's not on. I don't think there are any examples of that. Okay, so those are the ways that you should know how to factor. How will I break down the top of this? Square roots, very good. What is the square root of 4x squared? 2x. What's the square root of 25? And then remember, it's a +5 and a -5. On the bottom, I have an 8x squared minus 40x. If they both have an x, that means it's GCF. I know I can take at least an x out. Is there a number I could also divide out? Bigger than 4. Let's go ahead and take out the 8. So it'd be an 8x. 8x goes all the way to the front, which means my 8x squared is just a regular x now. And my -40 would be a x - 5. Okay? All right, the next feature, hopefully you didn't write on yours. I kind of scribbled over mine. But for wholes, those are the ones that cancel. So for this question, is anything going to cancel? Then what are we going to put for that?
No.
None. Okay. Vertical asymptotes are x's left over on bottom. X's on bottom. And I have two x's left over on bottom, so I'm going to have two vertical asymptotes. The first one is an x on the outside. What is the number answer that goes with an x on the outside? 0. Very good. And I also have an x with a -5, so the other one would be +5. So x equals 0, x equals 5. Okay, your x-intercepts come from x's on top. And x's on top, I see that I have 2. They're both going to come out to be fractions because they have x numbers on them. So remember, I'm going to change the +5 to a -5 and then slide the 2 down. So it'll be x equals -5/2 and x equals +5/2. Now, if you needed to write those as ordered pairs, remember the y is going to be a 0. So it'd be this comma 0 and that comma 0. Okay, the last thing we're looking for is the y-intercept. That would be the 0 partner, and you would just put it in your calculator. Now, if nothing crossed out here, then when I type it in, I want to use the everything. I'm not going to leave any parts out. So 2x + 5 and 2x - 5 over an 8x and an x - 5. Okay, once you have that typed in, usually you're looking for the partner for the whole and the 0. But in this case, since I didn't have a whole, I'm really only looking for the 0 partner. And the 0 partner is an error because why? Vertical asymptote means that what? I can't touch 0, then I'm not going to have a 0 partner. So let's put none here. And then I'll put because VA at x equals 0 can't touch. It's not a very good sentence, but hopefully you get the idea. Okay. All right. We're going to do one more like that. Take a look at letter B. First question, is it a bobo, a button, or a bed seat for the horizontal asymptote? Okay, bobo is correct. Okay, and then on this one, I'm going to write all 3 rules just so that you have it. It's bobo, button, or bed seat. So for letter B, we said it's a bobo. Okay, which means what's the answer? Bigger on bottom, 0. So y equals 0. Okay, then for every other feature, I have to be able to break it down into factors. Now, I see that the top is already done. So I'm going to put a little check here. What method would I need to break down the bottom? AC chart. So ABC. Okay, I need numbers that will multiply to an AC of -20. My basement number is a -8. So what numbers will times to 20? 1 times 20, 2 and 10, or 4 and 5. 2 and 10 are going to be my guys. Which one will take the negative for the 8 to come out negative? Put it on the 10. Very good. So the bottom is an x + 2 and an x - 10. Remember that if your A is not a 1, you would have to slide and divide. But in this case, since my A was a 1, I don't have to worry about that. What's going to cross out? The -10s cross out. What feature comes from the stuff that cancels? So it'll be 10 comma something for the whole. Now, for some of the questions on your test where it's multiple choice, x equals 10 will be enough. Okay, but if you have to actually graph it, then you'll find the y value, which we'll still practice on the warm-up. Okay? Vertical asymptotes come from x's where? On the bottom. What x is left on the bottom? So it'll be a -2. X-intercepts come from x's left on the top. Do I have any x's left on the top? That would be none. Yeah. Yeah, sure. And then y-intercept is the 0 partner. We'll look that up in the calculator. Okay, and I'm going to write under y-intercept, that's the 0 partner in the table. All right, now when I get to my calculator, I notice that my fraction doesn't have anything on top. You have to leave something, so you're going to leave a 1. Remember that if either part of your fraction is totally crossed out, a 1 goes in that position. So let's type it in. Y equals, we're going to have alpha x, a 1 on top, and x plus 2 on bottom. Then we're looking up the partners for 0, which is a half, and then 10, which I'll just scroll down to. So 10 goes with a 12. Okay? Then remember, if you were having to actually graph it, which you only have to do, I think, on one question, you would just divide 1 by 12 to know what that is as a decimal so that you can place that feature on your picture. Okay, any questions on that?
That's actually pretty good.
Okay.
So like for the x-intercept, where you get it from the factor, are you flipping the sign?
So you would slide the 2 down and then change it to a -5 halves. And then you would slide the 2 down and change that one to a +5 halves. Okay? All right, turn over to the back. I think the last thing we have is just a slant. So remember, slant asymptotes occur for bottoms, but not all bottoms. It's only when the top is 1 bigger than the bottom. So an x3 over an x4, that's fine. An x5 over an x4, that's fine. What about an x5 over an x2? Would that have a slant? No, because it's too far apart. They have to be 1 power apart. Okay, to find the slant, you just do long division, top divide by bottom. Okay, so let's do it for this question. You do not have to graph any slants today. You just have to be able to find them. So it'd be 8x squared minus 20x minus 13. And we're going to divide by 2x minus 13. Okay, remember how long division works. You want to know what would I times this number by to perfectly match this number. So if I have a 2x and I want it to be an 8x squared, what do I need? 4x. Very good. And then 4x will multiply by 2x and minus 3. So 4x times 2x is 8x squared. 4x times minus 3 is a minus 12x. But then remember that 12x won't be negative for long, because what's my next step to change the flip the signs? Very good. So my 8 is going to go minus, and this one will go plus. 8 minus 8 is going to do what? Cancel out. It should always cancel out if you picked correctly. And then negative 20x plus 12x leaves me with how many? Negative 8x. Very good. Carry down the minus 13. Repeat the process. What would I need to times 2x by to perfectly match a minus 8x? Minus 4. And then remember, you don't have to finish this out, okay? Because the answer is this at the top. The slant asymptote is y equals 4x minus 4. Do y'all have any other questions? Huh? Yeah, sure. All right. So I'll give you a minute to kind of get your life together, and then we're gonna, okay. And then make sure your name is on your test review. No, I'm just gonna push this row. Yes.
Yeah. Cause I think.
Yeah. Okay. Don't have any questions right now? You guys good back here? Questions? Oh, we made that one over 7. We made that one over 6. So then that'd be a 7x 95.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah.
And then a 3x, yeah. But it originally wasn't like that. I just wanted you to have it. So do X over, yes. That's right. Very good. But it's multiple choice so far, so you won't make that mistake on those tests. Questions over here? Anything, Watson? Review? All right, well, y'all just save me the walking. We just pass your reviews up. Make sure your name's on it so that you get credit for it, and then we just pass it up. Okay, remember, if it's not done, you can still get a 90. So keep it. You did most of it, maybe turn it in. But if you only did half, save that bad boy for Tuesday. Okay? Yeah. All right, y'all are gonna do great. You'll be just fine. Like this. Thank you. Yeah. If you are gonna take it next time, that's fine. But I mean, do you feel like you can do it then?
I did the reviews.
You want to do the review? Okay, that's fine. Thank you. There you go.
Oh, yeah. But.
Yeah. You get to use it, correct? All right, and then you have, this is like possible list. You have the wrong one.
Oh, great.
That's okay. I'll get you the other one.
Harder.
And then the review video, do you have headphones? Okay, if you want to go in the hallway to watch the video, you can, or the key is on school.
Okay. It's,
Yes? You missed the review as well? Do you have headphones? There's a video walking through about half of it. If you want to go in the hallway, you can. Or if you want to just look at the key, you can do that. And then y'all will take it next class. You're welcome. Today is the 24th. It's not even. All right. Test officially started. Do your best. You and then y'all still use your. The little one.
I won't.
But if we have. Yeah, the.
On the map. What about Chandler?
There should be a bunch, yeah. Did I get all the reviews?